Hey everybody, my name is Becky Boland, and this is my very beautiful friend, Shannon Holton. We are two coaches within the same organization, but we each run our own team. So my team's name is Team Fit Foodies.
And I am Team Worthy of Fit.
Shannon and I became friends actually really randomly at a coach event. Our upline sponsor, we have the same upline sponsor, introduced us. Shannon needed a place to stay. I had an extra room, and we've kind of been inseparable ever since, as much as people who are in Florida and Tennessee can be inseparable.
At the hip, virtual.
So today we just decided to kind of tag team a topic that we get asked all the time and kind of just provide a resource for people that are maybe interested in joining either one of us as a team. So what are we talking about, Shan?
So we're first going to talk about what does a coach do? What is a day in the life of a coach like? And pretty much me and Becky have two pretty different lives. Outside of coaching, we have a lot going on in different areas, but there are four main things that a coach does. So we'll start with the first one, which will be a product of the product. So for me, that's showing up for my workouts every day. I pick a program and I follow it. That's not to say that life doesn't happen and it's completely perfect every single time or every single day, but I follow a program every single day. If that's a rest day, then I have a rest day, but I get my workout in. I follow a nutrition plan. And again, that doesn't have to be perfect for me, but I do follow a nutrition plan. I drink Shakeology, which you may be familiar with Shakeology. You may have heard about it. You may see it on your social media, but it is amazing. And it's not like anything I ever thought it would be. I swear off all shakes, and this is amazing. So I drink Shakeology and I show up for my workouts every single day. And that's kind of what be a product of the product is. For me, it is taking care of myself, focusing on me, and having that time set aside every single day for myself. So what does it look like for you, Beck?
Well, I love what you said about how our days are so different, and that's true for every coach. So there are some coaches, I'm sure you've seen them on social media, who do this full time, but they built themselves to that point. Most coaches still work full time. I happen to work multiple jobs, and so I love that you mentioned that everybody's days look different, but the four main activities to create a successful business are the same for every coach. So for me, a product of the product is pretty similar. I really, really thrive on routine. So I like to follow a specific program and a meal plan as well. Honestly, it makes things easier for me. I don't have to think about what workout I'm going to do. I don't have to think about what I'm going to eat because that stuff is planned ahead of time. What I want people to know too is that obviously, if you're going to be coaching, you need experience with Beachbody products, with Shakeology or the performance line and the workouts. But that doesn't mean that you have to only do Beachbody workouts. So Shannon is a group fitness instructor. She teaches classes every week. I love to go to fitness classes. I'm a runner. I like yoga studios. You don't have to just be like Beachbody or bust. Being a product of the product includes experience with the products, but it really also just means living a healthy, balanced life so that you can be an example for the people that you're going to be helping as a coach. So that's really number one. The second one is a doozy, and it's inviting. So Shan, what did you think about inviting when you first kind of got started?
Yes. So whenever I first signed up as a coach and kind of learned these 4 vital behaviors that would make me successful, the first thing I saw was inviting. It was like, oh, no, I do not want to be a salesperson on social media like everybody else. That literally made me want to vomit and kind of made me want to retreat immediately because I didn't want to be that person that blew up people's Facebook with salesy pictures and was like messaging everybody and being like, join my quick fix. So honestly, I was terrified of the word inviting. But now I know that inviting for me is simply sharing my struggles, my real truth, sharing what works for me and what has worked for me, and inviting people to do this with me. So it's a completely different concept than I originally thought about or knew that it would be. And so inviting for me is simply just sharing what has worked for me. What about you, Beck?
Well, I agree. Sharing your journey is the most important part of this. A lot of people think that you have to be like a fitness expert with six-pack abs in order to have people want to work with you, but that's really not the case. It's people who want to go along this journey alongside you, not necessarily just learn from you. Learning from you is part of it. You're definitely going to work with people who are maybe, where you were when you first started, as well as kind of all along that path, but definitely sharing the journey is huge. And for me, I was totally freaked out about the idea of inviting two until I forget who said this to me. I think I read it in a book actually, which we'll get into next. But for me, I focus on inviting people to learn more. So I'm inviting people to learn more about what I'm doing to get my results. I'm inviting people to learn more about what I do as a coach, because I don't want someone to just blindly buy a product, a program from me. And I don't want someone to just blindly join my team without knowing what it is that we stand for. My team has a specific mission. I have a lot of really high values that I attach to this business and to my team as a whole. And I'm not just looking for anybody. So I really want someone who understands the mission of this company, who understands what they're going to get when they enroll, and who wants that for themselves. So when I invite, I really focus on inviting people to learn more about it, and then we go from there. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
Makes perfect sense. So good. So good.
So I mentioned reading. It doesn't have to be a book or reading necessarily, but the next vital behavior that we're going to talk about is personal development.
One of my faves. Actually, it is my favorite. But I will be the first to admit that I was the kid who Spark noted and Cliff noted my way.
Oh my God, me too. Spark notes. That's so funny.
Yes, it was the best. So I never read ever, like ever. Despised it. Actually, would do anything in my power not to read. So whenever I saw that personal development, like a book, was something that would make a successful coach, I promise you I rolled my eyes a million times. And honestly, it took me a few months to even willingly want to read a book or to listen to a podcast, because I kind of thought it was stupid. And now I can tell you hands down that taking 10 minutes or a chapter a day is everything to me. I do it every single day. It's like second nature. It just happens. And personal development doesn't have to be reading a book. It can be listening to a podcast. It can be listening to a training. It can be doing anything that is going to fuel your mind to be better. And I like what Becky said a minute ago, is how she has high values for her team. And I want to expand on just that for myself. Is I want the girls that I work with to want to better themselves mentally as well. Because I think that women especially tend to, we get healthy or we feel good about ourselves, but our mind is still super negative from the place that we have come from or just what's going on in life. And I truly feel like as women, having that empowered mindset and that mindset of just like we are badasses is incredible. And personal development can be anything, but when you give yourself a chapter a day or 10 minutes a day or whatever it looks like to you, it can truly change your world. So
yeah. I know that someone listening to this somewhere, when they heard personal development, automatically thought self-help, because that's what I thought of when someone told me like, oh, you should read a personal development book. I was like, I don't need a friggin' self-help book. I'm okay. But I mean, I guess you could technically look at it that way, but it really is, it's development. It's growing as a person. It does do a lot of things for your business in terms of helping you view things in a different way, see things from a different perspective, learn how to relate to people more. This is a people business. It's a relationship business. And, learning about different personalities and how different people's brains work is so interesting and really cool. But even on just a personal level, I have found that when I did finally kind of cave, if you will, and dig into personal development and take my coach's advice, I was learning so much about who I am and how to become who I want to be. Like, it helps with my friendships, helps with my family, it helps with my relationship, it helps with my business, it helps with my coaches who are my sisters. Shannon's not even a coach on my team and she's my sister. Like, you really when you're surrounding yourself with other people who are working on their mind and growing as a person, the friendships that you form are unlike any other. So it just kind of creates this really amazing positive community. And so daily for me, I don't have time to sit down and read a book and highlight and do that kind of stuff. So I use Audible, which is just, it's an Amazon app, and you can listen to books out loud. So I kind of will pair that activity with the other mindless stuff that I have to do. So I have to fold laundry, but I can listen to personal development while I do it. I have to shower, but I can listen to personal development while I do it. So it's not adding anything extra to your day. It's something that you can do while you're doing driving, while you're doing something else. Really, really great for commuters. All my girls who commute on my team listen to personal development on their commute. And then they get to start the workday in such a positive mindset from that development, instead of like feeling kind of shitty and irritated from a commute. So I really like personal development too, but it did take me a while to get on board.
Yes.
So lastly, the last activity, and this is also super, super important, but I think this one is my favorite, is recognition. Yeah. So what does that mean?
Recognition. So obviously this one's kind of the easiest, I guess, to like understand or to concept or just be like, oh, that makes sense, is women, or even I love to be recognized for doing something amazing or having a non-scale victory or achieving something in my business or in my life. I love to be recognized. I love the words of affirmation, and that's kind of what I related to, is it's kind of like getting those words of affirmation, positive encouragement. And so for recognition, it is my upline recognizing me for doing something good, or me even recognizing myself for dropping a pant size, me recognizing one of my challengers for not eating cake when she could have had cake, recognizing a coach for hitting a milestone in her business or paying off that credit card. So recognition is the easiest, and I think, like Becky said, it's one of my favorites because I love just spewing positivity and spewing love onto my girls, and I just think that you can never have enough like shouting out in life. So that's kind of what it means to me.
Yeah, I agree. I just feel like with so much social media and sadly today's world, there's so much like tearing each other down, especially among women. And I know there's a lot of movements to change that, but this is part of that. Like women are so competitive with each other. People are so competitive with each other. And rather than competing with each other, we should be celebrating each other and using others' motivation or others' progress to motivate ourselves to level up and to be the best that we can be too. So I definitely love receiving recognition, but I really love giving it more. I like to recognize, like Shannon said, a challenger. Challengers are our customers for hitting a goal, or even just staying consistent. Working out and staying consistent with healthy life is not easy. So staying consistent is worth being celebrated. Those non-scale victories, the weight loss victories, learning something new, like learning how to cook something new in the kitchen, getting their spouse on board with being healthy, any of that stuff. And I also really like to recognize people that are not necessarily associated with me within the Beachbody world, but you meet a lot of people on social media, and there are so many amazing people out there sharing so much value and sharing their story and their heart and their struggles. And I really, really love recognizing those people for their awesomeness and building relationships and friendships with them, whether or not they become part of my team in any way or not. So recognition is definitely a favorite of mine. I love it. So we just wanted to chat about those behaviors. Shannon and I get these questions a lot. What does a coach do? What does it take to be a coach? You're not a fitness expert. You're not a nutritionist. You don't have to create custom meal plans. Beachbody does all that stuff for you. So we are products of the products. We live a healthy life. We invite people to learn and to join us. We read personal development or listen to personal development, and we recognize people for being awesome. So yeah, I'm really grateful that Shannon and I had the opportunity to share this stuff with you guys. If you guys have any questions, specific questions that you want us to answer, we love any excuse to video chat with each other. So we'll create more of these videos to answer your questions, and hopefully we'll see you guys on our team. We work together a lot, so you'll get a lot of both of us.